Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be having a look at the Xenos factions for Kill Team Elites. Hopefully the microphone isn't too quiet there. Before we begin, if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please hit the subscribe button and destroy the bell button so you never miss an upload. This is actually the second recording of this video. Apparently I was too popular and kept getting messages, so I've had to mute the messages. Anyway. So basically an exciting expansion. Kill Team Elites is up for pre-order this weekend and introduces the very best the Galaxy has to offer for your favourite skirmish battles this week. We're taking a closer look at what Elites brings to various factions in the game, starting with Xenos kill teams. Let's take a closer look faction by faction. So I'll start by saying the Asuryani, which is basically Eldar. I'm not exactly a big fan of Eldar. Don't hate them. I kind of nothing them at the minute. I think they're kind of cool, but on the other hand, I don't really know much about them, to be honest. So let's have a quick read. Kill teams, nothing, craft world attributes, thematic, blah blah blah. If you're a fan of keeping your opponents at distance, choosing the Altiok attribute will give your distinct advantage, especially when combined with Camlea Line Cloak ability of your rangers. So Altiok Fieldcraft. Models in your kill team are considered to be obscured to an enemy if they're more than 12 inches away, and then the Cameline Cloak, whatever it's called, is counted basically to hit rolls, is obscured. It suffers an additional -1, so you have -2, which is pretty good because even Space Marines are going to be hitting on 5s like Orcs. I mean, I believe Orcs are not affected, but I might be incredibly wrong on that one. Yeah, so let's have a look. Illidan? Tenacious Resolve, yeah. So when you take a nerve test in your kill team, roll a D3 instead of D6, which is really good. If you're looking for some real staying power, your kill team, you'll be able to add some Wraithguard and Wraith Blades with a toughness of 6 and 3 wounds each. This certainly won't go down easily. Powerful new melee weapons options will be introduced in the form of 2 types of Aspect Warriors, Howling Banshees and Striking Scorpions. Their formidable combat prowess will serve as excellent counters to enemy specialists and commanders. The Asuryani will be able to lead their kill teams with 2 new commanders. First up is a Spirit Seer who will not only add some psychic might to your kill team, but can bolster nearby Wraithguard and Wraithblades with Spirit Mark Aura ability. 1 command point. As long as this model is not shaken, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for friendly Spirit Host models that target enemy models within 6 inches of this model. So I think it could be good, but I don't think it's that good. If you're going against combat armies, that's probably going to be really good because they're going to be coming at you and you're going to reroll 1s near them. It could be good, but that 6-inch bubble's really pants, to be honest. My opinion, of course. Correct me in the comments down below if you entirely disagree. Maybe I'm not seeing something, but oh well. As I think I had problems reading last time, Altiok kill teams can instead field a legendary ranger, Illic Nightspear. In addition to his utterly devastating rifle, Voidbringer, Nightspear will also be able to swiftly relocate by advancing, then utilize his unique tactic to fire at full effectiveness. So the Voidbringer is heavy 1, strength 4, -3 AP and damage 3. So -3 is going to be really good, and it's going to be making everything a 6-up save or worse, pretty much, with the exception of the Terminators, which will be a 5-up, but still going to be pretty good. It does 3 damage, so any shot that goes through, which is obviously only going to be 1 at this time, means it's going to do 3 damage rolls, which is pretty good. It says, this weapon does not suffer penalty hit rolls for being a target at long range. The weapon wounds on a 2-up, so you're only going to fail on a 1 on a wound up, so the strength 4 is irrelevant, even if it's a toughness 2 or toughness 3. So you're still not going to be able to. Anyway, shut up. Each time you roll a wound roll of 6+, it inflicts a mortal wound in addition to other damage, so you could possibly do nearly 4 damage rolls, which is going to be really good. Anyway, Wayforger. Use this tactic at the start of your shooting phase. If your kill team includes Illic Nightspear and that model is not shaken, the model becomes readied for the purposes of making shooting attacks in this phase. The model is considered to having remained stationary in the preceding movement phase. That's really good because 2 command points isn't that bad. I mean, it's, You can keep him alive by advancing, and obviously Eldar, pretty same thing in it really. Eldar are really good at moving about, so you could advance but an extra 6-inch possibly, and then and basically run away from an advancing enemy, and then use this command point and shoot at them anyway. So basically punishing a combat army effectively. Elite Knights be automatically a level 3 specialist from the new legendary Hunter specialism, which offers him a number of powerful new abilities. I've not read this bit yet. Stealthy Hunter, when your opponent makes a hit roll or injury roll for a shooting attack that targets this model, the model is obscured and that hit roll or injury roll suffers an additional -1 modifier. So that can make them really difficult to kill, really difficult to hit. Drukhari, or Dark Eldar. As their Craftwell cousins, Drukhari utilize a selection of obsessions from one of their cabals, witch cults, or homunculus covens. If I've said that right, who knows? Give me points down below. The only models with matching keywords will gain the ability. For example, fans of short-ranged weaponry, such as blasters, blast pistols, and shredders, may want to choose the cabal of the Obsidian Rose to ensure maximum accuracy. Models in your kill team do not suffer penalty to hit rolls from their attacks that target models at long range. Yeah, that's really good. I don't really know their weapons, but pretty sure even if you had a las pistol, a strength 3, and you're at 12-inch range, you're still going to be hitting -1. So with that, you wouldn't. I know it's not the same thing, but that's basically that deal. Alternatively, if you're looking for an armor-busting advantage, the Coven of the 12 will give you the cutting edge, cutting in brackets, edge you need. Improve the arm penetrations of all melee weapons used by your model in your kill team by 1. For example, arm penetration of characteristic of 0 becomes -1, arm penetration of -1 becomes 2, and so on and so on. Blah blah blah. I did an extra so on there just for fun. Introduction of homunculus covens sees the arrival of both Raks and Grotesques to the Drukhari kill team rosters, offering a 5+ invulnerable saves and a maximum of 3 attacks apiece. A minimum of 3 attacks apiece, good gosh. Sorry about the microphone moving there. Reinforced by... where are we? 5+ invulnerable saves and a minimum of 3 attacks apiece. They were reinforced by the armor-cleaving incubi and mandrakes. The shadowy allies of the Drukhari in particular have highly anticipated additions to the game, and their Shrouded from Sight ability will give them a huge advantage in kill team. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target this model. In addition, it has a 5+ invulnerable saves. That's really good. Harlequins. I know even less about Harlequins, rather stupidly. Harlequin kill teams will be able to specialise in a number of mask forms if you want them. In most of your kill team's frankly horrific melee skills, allegiance from the Frozen Stars will offer a handy extra attack in the first round of combat. You can make 1 additional attack in the fight phase with your model in the kill team if it was charged, or made a Parlin move granted by the heroic intervention. Metapalin, okay, right. So basically, if you charged or was charged or blah blah blah, you get +1 attack, like a little bit like the specialism. Gosh, why can't I think of the? There's a specialism where you get +1 strength plus zealot. I think it is +1 attack, +1 strength, which is going to be really good. So you get +2 if you have that specialism. Anyway. If you favour speed, manoeuvrability skills, for which the Harlequins have been somewhat renowned, it's fair to say, I don't know why I did that, to Soaring Sprite to make the most of your firepower while on the move. Models in your kill team treat all pistol weapons they are equipped with as Assault 1 weapons during the battle round in which they advance. In addition, these models do not suffer penalty hit rolls for shooting assault weapons during the round in which they advanced, which could be good. Necrons. Now, certain people might be liking of this part. How long are we on even already? We're on 9 minutes already. This could go on for a little while, to be honest. Dynastic Codes of Necron offer you a selection of powerful abilities to take advantage of. If you prefer to slay or flay your opponent in combat, the Novok Code will ensure a reliable number of hits on entering combat. You can reroll failed hit rolls for the fight phase for attacks made by models in your kill team if it was charged If you charge, was charged, blah, 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 pretty similar to the other one, but reroll failed hit rolls. You can instead mitigate the limited speed of your Necrons via translocation beams of the Nephric dynasty, offering you total freedom of movement when you advance. If a model in your kill team advances, you can reroll the d6 to determine and increase that model's move characteristic. In addition, if a model in your kill team advances, it can move across models and terrain as if it were not there. I would presume that therefore it would mean you can't end in the middle. But who knows? Maybe that is a device. Maybe that's a way around it. Your Necron kill teams will soon be able to include the mighty Lich Guard and Triarch Praetorians. They'll be able to carry their dispersion shields for a 4-up invulnerable save, and Lich Guards can make their most formidable adversaries, or simply split them asunder with murderous blows from their war scythes. So we're going to have a look at that now. War Scythe is +2 strength, -4 AP, and 2 damage. Okay, cool. Strange Praetorians have powerful combinations of deadly weapon in close range and melee, unrivaled maneuverability by virtue of their ability to fly. There's just no escaping these guys. Orcs, now kind of the bit I was kind of waiting for. Clan cultures. Bring influences of the great clans to your orc kill teams, as one would expect. Allegiance and the most aggressive of clans offers the potential for bonus attacks in combats. Goths, no mucking about. Sorry about that. Each time you make an unmodified hit roll of 6 for the attack in a melee made by a model in your kill team, immediately make an additional hit roll against the same target using the same weapon. These additional hits themselves cannot generate any further hit rolls, which is pretty much Goths to a T. Meanwhile, the Bad Moons culture will help your kill team be shootier than ever than all others. Reroll hit rolls of 1 by models in the shooting phase. Yeah, by kill teams in the shooting phase. That's all of them, to be honest. Orcs have 3 new data sheets in the form of Knob, Meganob, the Knob and the Meganob, and the Flash Kiss. Oh, okay, so that's kind of cool. Sorry about this. I wasn't aware that the Knob on its own was a data sheet for kill team. Obviously, I knew it was for the 40k. Meganobs are Flash Kits, so that could be very interesting. Not only are these orcs more heavily armoured than their other greenskins, especially in the case of a 2+ save on the characteristic of the Meganobs, you can field a wild selection of brutal weaponry such as power claws, combi weapons, and in the case of Flash Kits, Snares guns. Snares guns have a heavy 3, which is pretty good, strength 6, -2, 2 damage, so 2 damage rolls, which is good. Boss Snickra also makes his debut in a kill team as a unique commander. As with Illic, Snickra is a legendary 3 hunter specialist, but he can also give nearby commandos a handy boost with his bespoke aura. As long as this model is not shaken, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for friendly commandos within 6 inches of this model. So one command point. I genuinely think that's probably better, because obviously you're going to be more offensive with orcs rather than thingy. So I suppose if you're going against the Eldar one with the spirits, yeah, you can probably use these at the same time, but you get it for 1 command point instead of 2. Tau Empire, again, not my specialism, but hey. Kill teams hailing from Tau Empire will be able to choose a Sept tenant to represent their favoured method of war. For example, the accuracy of Overwatch fire from the Tau Sept is set to be nothing short of terrifying. And it is when a model from your kill team uses their for the greater good ability to fire Overwatch while they're within 6 inches of any model, they hit on a 5 or 6. I think that's pretty much the same as the standard thing that they normally do in that for the Tau Sept. So it's kind of interesting. If devastating close range firepower, such as offered by the pulse blasters of Fire Warrior Breachers, is more your thing, you might find Farsight Enclaves more to your choosing. Reroll hit rolls of 1 for shooting attacks made by models in your kill team that targets enemy models that are within 6 inches of fire. So that actually I think is a bit pants. And I know what you're wondering, why is it pants? You have to be within 6 inches. Now, to be honest, you could run up and then do that, so that's actually not as bad as I thought it was. But you still have to get on the offensive and reroll those ones, which some people might do passively, who knows. Kill Team Elite sees the very, very best of the Firecast unleashed in all the glory with the arrival of the XV8 Crisis Battlesuit. Not only does their ability to fly make even one such warrior a mobile threat, but the sheer diversity of ranged weaponry and support systems such as the plasma rifle target lock makes each one intimidating prospect to face. Crude carnivores also offer kill teams an efficient melee option to help keep the pressure off your vulnerable fighters. Plasma rifle, 24 inches, rapid fire 1, strength 6, -3, 1 damage. It's okay. It sounds more plasma-y than it is, but it isn't. It's still good. It's still good. Target lock. When a model does not suffer penalty for moving and firing heavy weapons, for advancing and firing assault weapons, the model can also advance and fire rapid-fire weapons. But you must subtract 1 from hit rolls when it does so. So in that exact instance, that one you would reduce 1, basically. If you really want to show the superiority of the greater good, then you will be able to field the Commander XV-85 Enforcer battlesuit, combining incredibly flexible equipment, weapon options, and ability to fly, not to mention one of the most powerful profiles in the game. You have a 8-inch move, which is epic, to be honest. Weapon skill 3+, which is good. Ballistic skill 2, awesome. Strength, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks. Leadership 9, 3 up save. Legendary Pathfinder known as Darkstrider will also be able to lead your Tau Empire forces. He brings with him 2 unique aura tactics that enable you to play some suitably sneaky tricks on your opponents, such as with the Structural Analyzer. Pick an enemy model that is not visible to Darkstrider. As long as Darkstrider is not shaken, add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made by friendly models within 6 inches of Darkstrider in the shooting phase that target the enemy model you picked. So, add 1 to wound rolls, shooting attacks by friendly models within 6 inches of Darkstrider. Wait a minute. And shooting phase. Okay, so yeah, that's good then. So, only your models have to be within 6 inches, it's not the enemy. And you add 1 to wound rolls, so basically you're going to be making them really pretty good, because I think most of the Tau weapons are strength 5, aren't they, anyway? Or strength elite, pretty high strength anyway. Tyranids, more interested in this one as well. Hive fleets are renowned for different ways they have adapted, and soon your kill teams will reap the reward. The hyper-aggression of the Hive fleet Behemoth offers simple but incredibly effective ability for your kill teams to stay on the front foot or claw. Behemoth, hyper-aggression, reroll charge rolls for models in your kill team. So that's good. It is good. Obviously, Gene Stealers themselves have that unless you give them the carapace, but you can give them the carapace and then they'll have that, I think. So that'd be really good. Hive Fleet Jormungandr. Jormungandr? I'm going to say Jormungandr. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. And I'll assume that everyone else is wrong. Unless you've got a different approach, then tell me in the comments down below. Ensure your critters remain intact until the moment you strike it is at hand, good gosh, or claw. Models in your kill team, other than that, models that can fly, are considered to be obscured by enemy models that target them. If a model advances or charges, however, it loses the benefit until the end of the battle run. That's good. -1 to hit, that is actually very good, and I think that's going to be quite competitive, much like the Eldar one. Speaking of your critters, you'll be able to include Tyrant Guard, good gosh, perfect options protecting your commander of choice, Hive Guard, along with their devastating Impaler cannons below, with super swift Raveners among their number, if you prefer to make more hands or claws on your enemies as quickly as possible. Impaler cannon, 36-inch range, heavy 2, strength 8, -2, D3 damage. Okay, this weapon can be fired at models not visible to the bearer. If the target is not visible to the bearer, a 6 is required for a successful, good gosh, nearly swore then, successful hit roll, irrespective of the firing model's ballistic skill or any modifiers. So it's not visible, it's hitting on a 6. But that's kind of good. I don't know how many you'd be able to take, but it's okay. But it's a pretty strong weapon. If you like lectors, you'll be able to introduce the Death Leaper to your games of Kill Team. Having any problems deal with the enemy commanders, don't worry. Death Leaper will see you right and them very dead. You can reroll hit and wound rolls for attack fight phase that any of the Death Leaper's attacks that target the commanders. Now that is really good, and I do like the Death Leaper. He's a very fluffy character, very good, love it. Gene Stealer Cults. Co-creates will give your alien hybrids the handy boost in the number of different areas. Twisted Helix, for example, is a great option for melee-focused kill teams. Blah, 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 blah. Add 1 to strength characteristics of your models in your kill team. In addition, when a model from your kill team advances, add an additional 2 inches to that advance, the distance it can move. So that's really good. There's nothing bad about that at all, I don't think. That's really good. So add 1 to your strength characteristics, so your neophytes are going to be hitting, wounding, basically. Yeah, that's going to be good. So they're going to become strength 4. That's really good. Love it. Actually, really good. Bladed Cog offers a different pair of advantages, including useful invulnerable save. Models in your kill team have a 6+ invulnerable save. Models in your kill team that already have one save improve that by 1 to a maximum of 3+, which is good. In addition, to models in your kill team do not suffer penalty to their hit rolls for moving and shooting heavy weapons. That is awesome. That's going to be really good. I personally think if you go in combat, definitely Twisted Helix. If you're going shooty, Bladed Cog. Both of these seem to be on the opposite ends, which is really good. Anyway, where was we? Yeah, so basically the point I was making is there is some good shooting and there's some good combat advantages, which is really good because they're the 2 main combat styles. A huge wave of Gene Stealer cultist characters that have surfaced earlier this year will have offer an enormous variety when it comes to your choice of commanders. So you get probably the most amount, including Sanctus, Gunslinger, Kellamorph, Nexus, Biophagus, Locus, Clamavus. Each of the new commanders comes with their own tactic, such as genomic enhancement of the Biophagus below the aura tactic. So let's have a look at the Biophagus genomic enhancement. Use this tactic at the end of your movement phase. If a Biophagus from your kill team is on the battlefield and not shaken, choose a friendly aberrant model within 2 inches of the Biophagus. Increase its strength, toughness, or attacks by the characteristic of 1 until the end of the mission. You cannot choose the same aberrant twice with the same tactic. Okay, so that's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Within 2 inches of the Biophagus, though. And it's 1 command point, but it's really good, in my opinion. Whatever the species of your Xenos you favour, you're definitely in for a treat. Check back with us tomorrow, where we'll be revealing some more on what Elites has to offer with the Chaos-aligned kill teams, as well as some information on the new reserves rulers for the game. That'll be interesting. So currently for me, I'm going to be recording these next ones on the same day, probably. We're going to scroll to the top just to get the heading on. Yep, so let me know what you think. If I've missed something and I've said that's really pants and you think actually no, correct me in the comments down below. It'd be really good for everyone else as well who reads, watches, or ever on the comments. Please comment. Yeah, pretty much I'm not really speaking English like normal, so what we're going to do is going to end the video here and we're going to say bye and see you next time for the Chaos Xenos factions. Chaos Xenos, shut up. Chaos factions, good gosh. As ever, goodbye.